So I want to try out some reacting content. And what better way to start than reacting to Monster Hunter Wild videos and stuff. I practice talking more and everything. And sorry if I'm a little bit I don't sorry. Thank you for being patient with me. I've just been going through some things and trying not to cry on the stream. So sorry if I'm a little sensitive or I don't know. I think I'll be okay. We'll be okay. Just gotta distract myself. Okay. I've been eating ice cream and crying. I'm okay. I think. Oops. Thank you. This is it. Yeah. People. My dad is home. This one. Okay. Oh yeah, this is my playlist. I love Demon Slayer. We have a bunch of games here that I've been trying out. Feel free to check them out. I'm still a small streamer, small gamer, so any support would mean a lot. We got Telluriza here, one of my favorite games. We got Spirit in the Mouse. We played that all in one setting. That one was a really good game. I never finished this one though, it was really hard. But we got some amazing art thumbnails on SwitchCat. Yeah, we did the Kirby-thon. That one time we were playing all Kirby games, the old to the new. It was really fun. Yeah, feel free to check them out. I want to do more Roblox content someday. Maybe sometime this year or something. Monster Hunter Stories is fun, but I would say World is more fun. Yeah, Wild Overrock is. Did you try the beta Rise? Wait, beta Wild Isa? Hi Wildcat, hi Luna. Street. Okay. Okay. Nobody's private. Okay. So, I made a whole list here.
Hello and welcome back to Raise.
Whoops. Ooh, 34 confirmed monsters. Watch it. Hi, Devin. Not really. Yeah, Monster Hunter Story Worlds is a little. I don't know. I just don't like it as much. You know, I'm not feeling it. I like it, but I feel like it repeats itself too much. You know. Play the beta demo. I'm so excited for it. We should play it together. Hi 654. Hi. Got me impatient. Same here. I've been wanting to play it since the first beta came out, but I never had a chance. So now I'm really hyped up for the second one. Yeah, it's coming on the 10th, right? I think next week? Sometime next week. I'm doing well, thank you, Deadman. Just been going through some tough times right now, so I'm just distracting myself with games. And trying not to cry. Yeah, I think I'll be okay though. Just gotta be strong, you know? Because one day if I become a nurse, I gotta be strong. Everything is so boring. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, yes. There's so much in Worlds though. My ADHD is so happy every time I play Worlds. It's just so much to do in Worlds. It's not like repeating and stuff, you know? Switchport Corpio? Are you guys getting this? Wait, I have not watched the trailer for. I haven't watched the trailer yet for the Nintendo Switch 2. We can watch it next time. Press start. Okay. Yes, here.
Gaming, and welcome back to more Monster Hunter Wilds talk. Today I've got
Too
for you
loud.
an updated recap or updated list for the monsters of Monster Hunter Wilds
What do
we
they
know so
have?
far. With the
What do they
recent
have
reveals of, say,
in
the
the
open
game?
beta test 2 and the monster that's coming with that, and another unknown,
Is
as
that
well as a
enough
new
for a
gameplay from
gun? I
IGN's
see.
Oil Well Basin stuff. We had this 9-minute hunt with a Jarrakan and also, of course, Rompompolo, where the Black Flame made a brief cameo. And in that, we
Captain,
got
I
to see
feel
a
like
few
you
new
would like
small
this
monsters
game.
as well. We had the confirmation
you would
before
like
any
it.
of this of another monster that was kind of expected, also revealed in a non-recorded PAX panel. And so we have a few things to look at and talk about. Then I'll
Who is
quickly
he?
recap the original list that we knew, so we're all up to date with the current monster and small monster list that we know. So let's start with our newest reveal.
Rage
From the
King
open
David.
beta test 2 that is coming soon, towards the start of February, we had a new monster revealed, or rather, a returning one. Gypsaros is coming back, our flying wyvern, poison type, the flashbang monster. We got a quick look at its moveset, such as the classic flashbang, which
Whoa.
will actually have you lay down while you struggle to recover,
Who's
leaving
that?
you exposed
What is
for
that
this
monster?
extendo tail slam. We also see the kind of flailing
Extended tail
charge
slam?
forward while firing off poison from the maw on either side, and the classic
Yeah, same
fake
here. I
death
haven't watched them.
mechanic.
Only
This
the
is
trailer,
interesting
though.
in this context because there's a bit more depth to when bodies are on the ground. They rot, they decay. You can stand on them and carve them while on top of them. So I do wonder whether they're going to
They
allow
rot
you to
and
walk
decay.
over the fake dead Gypsaros, or whether that'll be like
but
one of the
it
two
does look like
tells
it's
to see that
ticking.
he's not actually dead. Other than you can clearly see him flinching and like a heartbeat motion if you pay attention. Maybe you can't walk over him. Also, revealed but not revealed in that trailer is the fact that there will be another monster in that beta that wasn't in beta 1, but we don't know what it will be. Right now, I'm not expecting it to be a newly revealed monster, but I suppose it could be
What?
with how they just did
There's
that.
a new
But you
monster
know,
in
if we're
beta
looking
2.
at going back to the same locale, we have seen Cumatrice on the Windward Plains, and in the very first
Oh, I've
teaser
never
of the
seen
game,
that
we saw
monster
Rathalos flying
before.
there. And there was
What
those
the heck?
completely unused
That looks like an
nests
actual
up in a high
chicken.
area at the northeastern
Why does
point
that
of the
look
map.
like an actual
So I think
chicken?
it's very possible it could be Rathalos. Though obviously some people are hopeful that it will be the
chicken.
flagship Arkveld, because before the release of all of their games, there'd be a demo, and in that would be the flagship of
I
the
know
game.
nothing
Now
of
another
Wild
monster
so far.
revealed kind of a while back actually was a PAX panel that was completely unrecorded for some reason, but it
What's
wasn't
that?
until much later that they put out this reveal video, the one they probably showed at PAX, showing
New
Rathian
Master Rage
in
game?
Monster Hunter
Yeah,
Wilds.
Rise had
Now I also
new
mentioned that there was the
different monsters
IGN
as well
gameplay.
in Rise.
In that we saw monsters we'd already had revealed, a Jarrakan and of course Rompompolo, but we actually got to see a few small monsters that were teased in trailer 5, but now we have their names and a little bit more information about them because we can see them in action. They're
They're
in the same
giant,
area,
yeah.
interestingly, where Rompompolo and a Jarrakan actually clash. It's these little blue lizard sort of salamander types, and a new, smaller sort of raptor type with some interesting designs about
knew-
them. We know the names of these thanks to
I
the
did not
Jarrakan
think
IGN
about
English
you.
hunt, where in this same
They're
area,
doing
some of
some
them have
acting
died,
to
and so it popped
wild
up on the UI
tales.
their names. So, for the blue lizard, we have the
I
Galadron,
know
which has
nothing
already
about
become
wilds.
kind of a fan favorite. I think a lot of people
Oh, what is
remember or
that?
think about Dodo Gamma when they see this. It's like a
Dodogama.
baby version. It's just got funny expressions, it's kind of funny looking, and it seems as usual, the community just
like
appreciates
Wobbuffet
designs like this.
from
Meanwhile, the
Pokemon.
much more brutal, interesting looking
Wobbuffet,
Kranodath
Wobbuffet.
is that new raptor type, which is the ones that have these almost
Link
rock-like
has a
parts
lizard.
around their head and neck that
Whoa.
they bring together to sort of slam down
It's
like a club.
wildfire.
In terms of behavior, we see that these small monsters will attack large
These are
monsters
new
like the ones
monsters,
we
I've
saw
never
in, say,
seen
the
them.
Windward Plains. So they can be a handy tool to help us in the hunt. But
why
design-wise,
does
I
it
think
look
it's
so
interesting the way these
freaky?
rock things around their neck and head, when they're like open, it almost looks like an open flower in this default state. It's interesting to
Why
see.
does that look
But
like
yeah,
a
those are the two
balloon?
new small monsters and
Why
their
the
names.
monster look like
The
a
only other little
balloon?
update I can
Like
give
a
you
bal-
came at the
What do
back
you
of the
call
start
that?
of
Shaped
December.
balloon?
It was Yian Kukku, where we had this very brief gameplay look at.
Me
It definitely
too,
doesn't
I
show
can't
much,
wait for
but what we
the
get to see
beta.
is 3 of them attacking at once, since they are indeed herd or pack
We should play
monsters now
together.
in wilds. One immediately does that deranged charge forward while spitting fire in different directions, as Josh calls
It's
it, the
balloon
flaming
ammo,
chicken
right?
move, just like the one we see with Gypsaros. Meanwhile, the other 2 are
Whoa,
just sort of preparing
I've
for the
never
fight.
seen
One starts
those.
flying up, the other starts
Those
with a
are
roar.
new.
If all 3 of them do the flailing chicken charge, It's going to be a nightmare. So I think these are going to be tough to fight in a herd. It's interesting. But those are the newest reveals we have right now to add to the original list. So let's blast through that list. The already known large monsters would be, say, the recently revealed Rompompolo from Trailer 5. We got to see with Rompompolo the more in-depth look at the gameplay with the fact that it can deflate when you deal enough damage to it and knock it down, where it looks absolutely horrifying. Or say, if you're looking more mechanically, the fact that it does have a couple tells, like when it slams its tail into the ground to do the oil silt explosions, it's quite exposed to that, and it has long recovery time during it. On the other hand, we got to see a Jerrican, of course. There's quite a lot to look at here, like the ridiculous Beyblade super move that it has, where it spins on the ground, leaps up and slams down on you. Or a bit of detail to do with certain environments. Some areas have these horizontal weird pillars and columns above the area. And that is why our Jerrican actually jumps up and swings and slams down on you for a strong move. He has those in his own nest, which we got to look at as well. But be aware, if you attack him and do enough damage quick enough while he's hanging, that will bring him down and leave him exposed.
What is that?
Lastly, we still have the very mysterious The Black Flame, which, you know, the real monster name of this one is unknown. Arkveld having a mysterious title makes sense. It's the flagship, it's the mysterious sort of villain of the story right now. But the Black Flame's just a specific locale's apex predator, so I wonder what's going on there. Anyway, we did have a tiny tease of the Black Flame during the IGN stuff, during the English gameplay, but all we really got was a look at the icon where you can see the heat emanating off the monster, and its horns at the top center of the symbol, which is cool, and it creeped into frame only for them to, you know, jump cut away because they weren't allowed to show it. Beyond that, then, we had the monsters of the Scarlet Forest like Yen Kuku, Congalala. We have Uthuna, the apex predator, the huge leviathan, almost whale-like creature. We have Kumatrice, the fire chicken. And of course, Lalabarina, our resident monster wild spider. Under that, earlier reveals were, of course, the flagship itself, Arkveld, the chain blade wyvern, as we know it currently. Classic monsters we fought in the beta, like Doshaguma, the big bear. We have Chattacabra, the ultimate training dummy. Balahara, the mechanically impressive leviathan. And of course, the apex predator of the Windwood Plains, Raydao. The very first monster revealed, though, was indeed Rathalos. And as we like to say, technically, it is a large monster. There's also the sacred. This one's just friendly to us. One more monster that we currently are very aware of, but don't know the name of, or even its design or anything, is of course the Switch Axe Weapon Trailer monster. It's the one that looks kind of like a crab or insect in design, at least the weapon does. But then you look at the armor set, and it reminds me of Mizutsune in quite a fancy design. But yes, it's still unconfirmed which that monster is, but obviously we know about it. Next, let's do small monsters and then get to the theory ones. For new small monsters, then, we of course have the Geladron and Canodaph, which were revealed in that IGN gameplay, as we've talked about at the start of this video. One being a seemingly new amphibian lizard type, and the other being a new sort of raptor that will help you attack monsters at the right time. With rocky heads, used like blunt weapons. After that, we had some monsters revealed during, say, the Scarlet Forest stuff, like the Pirika. We're still not 100% sure if that's the name of the small monster, because it was said by Joe Bustos during a live stream that they believe that that's the name of it. But it's basically just a small leviathan type that swim in packs, swarm monsters that are hurt, but also you if you're bleeding around the water. Could be a useful trap when used in the right way then. Of course, after that then we have the Conga, the smaller versions of Congalala. We have the fish, the Gajau. We had that blue wing drake, this different one that we've not been able to find the exact name of yet. It's interesting, we've been trying to catch the name of these, but have only found someone looking at them during Japanese footage. And so when you look at the name that it looked like and translate it via Google Translate, it comes out as harps, which doesn't exactly feel right. So if you found the name of this blue windrake that appears in the Scarlet Forest, let us know. And then of course in this region we will have the Woodwood tribe that we will communicate and work with, it would seem, and a bunch we saw in the Windwood Plains, like the Ceratonoth, the Dalthanodon, there's the Balnos, the Bullock Chi insect type, the Talanoth, those new raptors that will attack monsters and help you. There's the Gyjos. Of course, there's also going to be the useful Thunderbugs in the new form. And then the Aptonoth and Murnos as well, which we do see in the base camps. But that's the small monster list. Now what about the quick theory stuff? Well, again, we do have quite a lot of hope for Nazilla coming back. There was that interesting web in these columns up high in the Oilwell Basin during Trailer 5. We don't think this is a place where you're going to see Lalabarina, so what would make those webs? Well, we're hoping it's Nazilla. Further, with the fact that Jitsaros was revealed, did wear its skin, that monster's skin, and then it would also prey on that monster type. So on top of the web inside of the Arwell Basin, that monster returning as well, the Gypsyros, we're quite hopeful Ner'zhul is going to be revealed, maybe in the next trailer or something. Also, interestingly, there was a sleep weapon shown on the weapon tree when you're looking at, say, the Smithy screen. We got a couple of screenshots of that. Since none of the monsters we currently know about are sleep monsters, that might suggest a new or returning sleep monster, but it's not 100%, just worth a mention. Other things that are theorized right now are, say, the small monsters, the Khonshu, since they're always associated with the Yankoku, because that's what they mainly prey upon. So we've yet to see them yet, but you'd expect them. The last two things, of course, as we said, when you're looking at Scarlet Forest gameplay and they open the map, there's these interesting drawings on the left side. There was an interesting looking snake wyvern drawing.
You should
wrapping
totally
around
play.
something.
We should play
and
together.
then this
It'll be my
bird,
first time
which
too
we have
for
referenced with the Samult thing, with the village tribe elder in the Windward Plains, referencing some sort of legendary bird. But is that drawing connected with that legend? Who knows? But yeah, that's our current overview of everything we know about the large and small monsters of Wilds, the few returning monsters and quite a few new ones. If you guys know any more than what we covered today, though, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. But when we get new information, be sure to check the channel. For now then, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
I really like Monster Hunter World, and Elden Ring was my first Souls game, but while I was playing Elden Ring, I was playing training in Monster Hunter World. That's why we were able to beat Elden Ring with like 800 deaths, and this is my first time. It's because I've been playing a lot of not playing a lot. I've been training in Monster Hunter World, you know, learning how to build your weapon, your armor, and learning how to fight dragons and everything. We were able to fight Pellucidax, and we were able to on first try, because I've been fighting like harder dragons in this game. So this game really changed my life. You know, it made me brave enough to try out Souls gaming. So I've learned to really like Monster Hunter. At first I didn't. Same with Elden Ring, and now I'm like really addicted to both of those games. Yeah. Very similar to Souls gaming, not just the boss fight, but like getting items and stuff and upgrading your materials. You know, your weapon's only as strong as like your build. Kind of like in Elden Ring, you need like special talismans for everything. Even the Blasphemous Blade, you need like a special talisman to, you know, deal more damage and stuff. It's only as strong as your build. And I've learned that through this game. Like Souls fashion, I learned it through Monster fashion and everything. Yeah, this game really taught, not this one, but like Monster Hunter World, the one we're playing right now, really taught me a lot. Yeah, I was Boba. I love Boba. Oliver someone. Elden Ring is also my first Souls game. Yeah, same here. Oh, Neil, we should try Elden Ring again. I'd be excited to watch you play that. Everyone was like, "It's your first Souls game and you started out with Elden Ring. Why didn't you start with Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy or something.
Hey guys,
weapons.
It's Paradise, and what weapon is right for you in Monster Hunter Wilds? It's one of the biggest questions in Monster Hunter, and while there is no best weapon in the game, picking a weapon that matches your playstyle can have better results and skyrocket your enjoyment of the game. With 14 weapons in the game, this can be a daunting task. But in this video, we're going to help you find that answer, whether you're a new player stepping into Monster Hunter for the first time, or a more experienced player looking for some quick notes on how your weapon has improved. We'll give you a quick breakdown of all the different weapons and some of their changes with what's happened to them in Monster Hunter Wilds, so you kind of know what you're getting into. This is an even more important choice for experienced players now, because Wilds actually lets you take a second weapon out to hunt. With the demo releasing soon, we're excited to help you find which weapon is best for you, so let's...
I didn't grow up playing video games, and I don't know why I was crazy and tried out Elden Ring and stuff, but Monster Hunter World really changed my life. It made me see games in a different perspective. It made me learn to appreciate the game more, because now I'm not just playing it, I'm actually understanding like how it works and everything, you know. Learning to appreciate the graphics, the lore, the gameplay. I'm not just playing it, you know. Yeah, I learned a lot from this game. The tougher the lot was to surmount. Exactly. Yeah, I want to try Sekiro. Wait, Boba, are you gonna try Sekiro? Did you play games? I played Animal Crossing. Or Cooking Mom. No. Oh god, 9 Diablos. The Black Diablos. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, Black Diablos was like all over the place.
Dive into it, and you can tell us which weapon you like the look of most.
I want to try
few
Sekiro
weapons in
and
Monster Hunter that
Wukong.
invoke the power of a god and anime. The
I'm really
longsword
interested in
ranks high
Wukong.
amongst them with a
That
balance
might be
of
our next
speed
Souls
and
game, but
power.
we'll see.
It has a moveset that allows you to quickly dish out
Wink
burst
Wonk?
damage, while also being able to weave in defensive gameplay via counters.
Yes,
The
those I
playstyle
played
revolves around
this.
building up your spirit gauge level, which can then be expended on powerful attacks like the iconic Helmbreaker. For Wilds, the spirit gauge is even more powerful as you get a new red gauge moveset that augments some of your most powerful attacks, giving you access
wait,
to
what
the
weapons
Crimson
are you guys
slash
gonna
combo. There's also the new
What weapons are you guys gonna get for Wilds? I like the Dew Blades, but I might want to try something else.
Spirit Charge that will have you building up your gauge
Yes,
quickly while
Wukong.
also dishing out a devastating attack. But if you want to laugh in the face of
Maybe
danger, then
after
the lance
Wukong
is
we'll
the
do
weapon for
Sekiro.
you. This weapon is a defensive powerhouse, allowing you to block and
I've
counter
already
attacks
wishlisted
even
those
through the most
games.
fearsome incoming hits. While it looks like it lacks mobility, experienced players will
You
be able
get
to
2
move
weapons
fluidly.
in
The
Wild,
Lance's
what?
go-to poke combo has been improved for
Oh,
Monster
that's
Hunter
the
Wilds,
lance.
allowing for additional options such as more
look
finishes
at that
and the ability to
weapon.
sidestep and reposition. Meanwhile, the shield is more involved in your moveset, allowing
Why
you
is
to
that
quickly
so
counterattack and deal element
thick
or
and
status
stuff?
damage.
The
But if
heck?
you like devastating raw power that can send enemies reeling in just one hit,
How
then
is
the
that lance
Greatsword
really
is
like a
the perfect
staff or
match for
something?
you.
That's like a
While
really
this weapon may
thick
lack mobility,
sword.
it makes up for it with its meaty, massive chops. And who needs
Whoa, what is
mobility
that?
anyway when you can
The
just
long
tackle
sword,
your
the
way
great
through
sword.
attacks? The playstyle for the Great Sword is all about
They do a lot
charging
of
up to
damage,
unleash
I
powerful
think,
attacks at the
right?
cost of mobility. In Monster Hunter Wilds, the Great Sword gets even stronger
balance of
as it's now
offense and
able to
defense.
rotate its true charge
He
chop by
stops
using
my
focus mode,
weakness
and
too.
tackling through attacks retains your level. This is also one of the
Charge
only
blade and
weapons in Monster Hunter
longsword.
Wilds that can use both the new Clash attack and offset attack
Zen.
mechanic. But if you fancy yourself as a little bit of a John Wick, then you might want to take a look
Lance
at
and
the
bow's
light
probably-
bowgun.
I think I
This
might go
weapon is all
bow.
about shooting your way to
Probably like a
victory.
long staff.
Its
That
playstyle
gun
remains
looks so
mobile,
cool.
so you can continuously deal
Wait, I might
damage to
go
the
gun.
target without being hit.
I might go gun and
While it may
cannon.
look small, it packs a real punch with its variety of ammo types and mines that can be placed as traps.
There's
In
a
Wilds,
strong
this
shield
weapon has
Monster
received some
Hunter?
massive changes
I
as it
see.
focuses more on being a little closer to the monster, but with that risk
More like the
comes a
greatest
reward. You now have a rapid fire
Wait,
gauge
why do
that can
people
be
call it the
expended to
lead
shoot even
sword?
more shots per press of the
I
trigger.
don't get it.
If there was one weapon, however, that was all about range, then it's going to be the heavy bowgun. This weapon has a large
Heavy
ammo
bowgun.
capacity
That's a
and defensive
bowgun?
options that make you feel like you're shooting a long-ranged cannon.
I'm
It
getting
even
that
has
one.
a minigun mode and a massive shot for laying down a barrage of vicious attacks that will have the biggest monsters
I like a
trumped.
lion. No, that's a
In Wilds,
bear.
the heavy bowgun now has longer optimal range for
Wait,
ammo,
Chad, look at that
an
weapon.
offset attack that
Cool.
can counter incoming monster hits, and the
Oh,
ignition
he
gauge
staggered
that
it.
can be used to shoot special ammo.
And
And if you would
flipped
rather
it, he
focus on
flipped it.
speed, elemental damage bonuses, and becoming Levi from Attack on Titan,
resource
then
and
you might want to
longsword.
pick up the
Oh.
Jewel Blades as your weapon of choice. This weapon focuses on building up your demon gauge using quick
like
and
an
mobile
alligator?
attacks. Once filled, it can be used to unleash even more powerful and devastating attacks.
He's a weird
In
looking
Wilds, the Jewel
alligator.
Blades now have the ability to weave between the
Levi
potent Demon
mentioned
Dance and
Levy?
Demon Flurry for an extended combo, And for those quick on your toes, if you're able to hit a perfect
I
dodge,
anticipate
you'll
more
gain the
same
evasion
here.
state
I'll
buff,
play in
which
beta
increases
and
your
try it
elemental
more
damage
out.
and attack damage, as well as allowing you to attack while dodging.
Wait,
The
two
bow, however,
blades.
provides high mobility in combat, but don't presume that this compromises its damage capabilities. It boasts significant power,
the other
and
one
if
was
you've
a
dreamed
bow
of becoming
gun, this one is a
Legolas from Lord
bow.
of the Rings, then
Oh.
this could be your weapon of choice. The playstyle revolves around managing your charge level on your attacks to deal increased damage, and you can select the right ammo coating for the situation. In Wilds, you get access to some crazy new additions. The trick gauge means that you're able to refill your coatings and use attacks that allow your arrows to home in on targets.
Oh, that's
It
so
also
fun. I
benefits
think I
from
might go for the
well-timed
bow gun,
dodges to
though.
refill your
I like the
stamina and the
speed.
gauge all in one go. Next, the
Like I
community
said,
calls this
sword,
one the most technical
charge
weapon,
blade.
but once you have your head wrapped around its playstyle, the Charge Blade will have you dealing some of the most powerful attacks in the game. This weapon is all about managing your files, which can be used to power up different components of the weapon.
Look at that
Seasoned
monster.
players are able to
It's like a
guard
toad
incoming
with,
attacks
like, a
using
really
the guard
long
point mechanic,
tongue.
and the learning curve is definitely worth it for this weapon.
But I
In
give
Wilds, the
all
Charge
weapons
Blade
a
benefits
try
from
and
the
see.
return of the
Yeah, I
Savage
think I should
Axe
give them
mode
all a
and
try.
a new overcharging file mechanic. Plus, there's new guard points to
I
master
do like the long
and extended
staff, though, like
combos for
that
the
one.
super amped
I'm
element
thinking of getting
discharge.
that one.
But the hammer is great at
Or
knocking
the
things
hammer.
out and dealing a ton of
Wait,
burst
so-
damage. While the playstyle is fairly simple, it is also a very powerful
feel like I
weapon
wanna do
in the
something
right
like a
hands.
big
It's
weapon.
all about bonking things, and unlike most weapons,
Need
it
something,
deals
like,
blunt
slow.
damage, which is great
Like, I wanna
at breaking
challenge
parts,
myself.
meaning you'll get extra
Usually-
rewards if you hit the right places. For Wild
I hear usually people don't go for like the slow, large weapons. I think I might try that just to challenge myself in the new game. Because right now I'm playing dual blades and they're like super fast. So I might do something different in the next one.
The hammer can do some cool things
He's
like
Big
the
Boy,
mighty
right?
charge that
Hi,
allows you to quickly
Cloud.
spin your hammer to generate charge, and offset attacks that are tied into your golf swing. Next is the hunting horn, but you would be wrong to
Isn't
just
that the
consider
music
this as a
one?
support weapon. While it's great at providing
Support
team-wide
weapon.
support, this weapon is also great at dishing out amazing damage when in the right hands. The playstyle for this
Damage.
weapon focuses on pressing a series of button attacks in the right order, where you can then stack notes to create songs
Whoa.
which generate additional buffs and benefits. It's perhaps one of the most
Wait,
underrated
maybe
weapons
I will
in
go
the
with
game,
that one.
and having a hunting horn player in your
It heals
party
people,
can turn
right?
the tide of battle in your favor.
And buffs
In
people.
Monster Hunter Wilds, the hunting horn got some amazing additions, such as being able to create
How do you
echo
play
bubbles
that?
buff you and deal damage. You have increased song speed and a counter via a new offset
Greatsword
attack.
cleanses
If, however,
switch
you're
acts
looking
of
for a
probably
staff-based
a bit
weapon,
slower
then
in
you're
different
probably
ways.
going to like the look of the Insect Glaive.
Yeah, here
This
like,
weapon
the
allows you
bigger
to buff
weapons are really
yourself with your
slow.
trusty Kinsect companion to
Think I
deal
might
even
try
more
that.
damage. You can use the Kinsect to attack with you, or
Don't
the
forget
Insect
to
Glaive
hydrate,
itself to
thank
gain more
you.
height and attack from a different direction. The Insect
There are
Glaive in
horns that can
Monster Hunter
heal-
Wilds
do
is
they
more
only heal a
grounded than
little
some of
bit?
the more recent Monster Hunter
What do you
games,
think,
but for
Isa?
that
Is the
trade-off,
horn worth
you
it?
gain some powerful grounded attacks and
Do
the
you
ability to
recommend it?
attack with your Kinsect while in focus mode. You can now also gain all 3 buffs by using
Usually I go with like, usually I play support in any game I play, so I don't know. I'm thinking maybe getting the horn, but do you think it's a good weapon? Do they heal a lot? Is it worth it?
charged attacks or the new Focus Strike. Now, in the realm of Monster Hunter, the gun lance stands as a resolute shield. It combines the strength of the lance with the firepower of a cannon,
The
enabling you
graphic
to
is so
relentlessly
good.
pressure your prey with a series of
They
bombardments.
really improved a lot.
And at the
over the
opportune moment,
years.
you can unleash a devastating, super-powered strike. This weapon exemplifies the perfect equilibrium between precision, piercing attacks, and explosive bombardments that's kind of reminiscent of a movie.
What is that weapon?
In Wilds, the gun lance has received some impressive
Gun lance.
improvements. Its shelling will now scale with various different
Is that a
sources.
laser?
It has multiple blast follow-up attacks.
What is
and
that
a drill
weapon?
that can pierce
What?
the heavens
Wait,
for a
what?
focus strike. But next is one of the most highly recommended starter weapons,
Gun
the sword
lance is
and
a
shield,
thing?
which offers a
I've got to
versatile
check that
playstyle
out.
with a single weapon. It can deliver powerful raw attacks with its slower,
Yeah, it's a
heavier
new
hits with
one.
its shield, and allows you to exploit elemental weaknesses
We're
on
doing some
monsters with
reacting
its faster
content
sword
to
combos. For a more
Wild
defensive approach though, the
videos on
shield can also be
YouTube. I
utilized
know
for
nothing
effective
about
protection.
Wild. I've not
In
played the
Wilds,
beta,
the
and I'm
sword
so
and shield
excited
is
for the
even
next
more
one.
mobile, with the ability to attack and
It's
reposition
coming
while
next
using
week.
focus
Beta's coming
mode,
next
and
week.
it has a charged chop with a new meaty attack that hits multiple times. But if versatility,
Anybody figure out
impactful
what weapon you're
combos, and
gonna
extra
use?
style points are at the top of your list for which weapon to pick,
Wait,
then the
I think I
Switch
might
Axe
get
should
this
be a
one.
high-ranking
So many
contender.
choices.
It combines two forms of fighting
Wait,
style
it's
in
fast?
one,
It's
allowing you
fast?
to freely switch between the long reach of the
You
axe
can
mode
switch
and the
between two?
explosive and powerful swings of the sword mode, allowing for adaptability in different combat situations.
It's
In
slow but
Wilds,
not
the
too
Switch Axe
slow.
is taken to a
Think I
whole
might
new
get that
level
one.
with improvements to both modes and
Enhanced health
extended
regen
combos
restores
like the
small
new full
portions of
release
health.
and compressed
You'll use
slash.
other horns.
In the
I
past, a
see.
weakness of the
We
Switch
should
Axe
totally
was its
play
limited
Bear together,
mobility
yeah.
and lengthy attack animations. But these are now insignificant
Big
worries,
FPS
as in
game.
Wilds, its axe form is granted a new offset attack,
I
allowing you
think
to
I do.
respond
I
to
think I
incoming
do.
attacks
Play a little
quickly
bit of
and with
Overwatch
style.
here and there.
Meanwhile, the axe mode has gained a separate counter that is fairly
Two
quick to
great
combo or
swords.
cancel into, making the entire weapon more responsive to danger. But which two weapons are you liking the look of most to take on hunts with you? Put your picks and why down below, and subscribe for more Monster Hunter and videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.
So many.
Hey guys, it's
Hello
what?
and welcome back to Rage Gaming. And
So many choices of weapons. So many choices. I think Monster Hunter is gonna be super popular, just like Souls gaming. I think Souls gaming is pretty popular, still pretty popular, but I think Monster Hunter is starting to starting to get more people in. I think after Worlds, I think Worlds is a lot of people's favorite. So after Worlds, I think it's getting a lot more audience, and I think it might be Game of the Year. I don't know. I think Wild's gonna be their best Monster Hunter game so far. I think. Though I've only played a little bit of Rise, I'm still like level 2 in Rise, and I played some Monster Hunter World, so I think Wild's gonna be a lot better. But I think World brought in a lot of people. In the beta, a lot of people downloaded it. It was still just beta. Fragpunk, it looks very interesting. These cards that can do changes in how you play. Interesting, I'll have to check that out though. Yeah, I can't wait to play the beta this time, so we'll see. Charge Blade, you use sword and shield, but also 2H pizza cutter. Fast and slow, but a bit technical. Would you recommend that's a good weapon, Aiza? I learned a lot from Aiza from her gameplay. She's really good with Monster Hunter stuff. Here, this is the one. This is the video everyone was reacting to. This one came out 10 days ago.
過去シリーズの良かったところっていうのは、しっかり踏襲も必須ですけど、今回やらせたい、それぞれの武器の、良さだったり、ここはちょっとこういう形に変えてみたいみたいなところで変えた方が今回のコンセプトに合うんじゃないかみたいなところっていうのは、それぞれの武器種ごとにプランニングしていって、そこに応じて調整をいろいろかけていくような形にはなります。遠距離系の武器ですね、ライトボウガン、ヘビーボウガン、弓とかは今回ずっと遊び続けることができるって形になってきていますので、前までのようにそのロードを挟んでこう物資を補給してまた行くって形が、ハードルが高いものになっていってしまうというのがありましたので、基本的なダメージソースについてはリソースを払わなくてもダメージが与えられるように設計にしたいと思って、そういう意味では通常弾と貫通弾と3弾という基本弾だったり瓶みたいなものっていうのが、ゲージを管理しながら遊ぶような形にして、弾だったら無限に打てるような形にして軸にしつつも、それでも準備して現地あるものとかからも補充しながら遊ぶって遊びも残したかったので、その取れるものからも特性弾とかそういうものを取れるっていう設計は残しながら、バランスをとっていく形でメカニクスを大きく変えた武器のにはなってくれるのかなと思います。手触り面で言うと僕は結構狩猟具は結構変わったなとは思っていて、 響き玉、
響き玉とか、ああいうのも結構いろいろ追加で。
I really like Monster Hunter. You know, compared to Elden Ring. Oh, hold on, chat. Hello, my model's frozen. Wait. Hold on. I think it's the internet. Let me reconnect to the internet on my phone. Come on, phone. Come on. Let me go back in. Loading. YouTube Studio. Speaking properly. We have like 2 types of internet at home. Okay, compared to Elden Ring, you know how like some of the bosses are weak to holy and stuff, and we had the blasphemous blade, but if we tried other weapons it might be like difficult against the bosses. So a lot of people ended up just using one weapon, I think. But in Monster Hunter, there's like different variety of weapons, and you can upgrade any weapon you want, and all of them will be equally able to beat like giant monsters and big bosses and stuff. And I think that's really good thing to have in the game, you know? So people don't just like get stuck to one weapon. Like you can play any weapon, the longsword, the bowgun, or anything, and still be good against like Vitalis, the end boss and stuff, you know? It's a mad preference, yeah, like you have so many choices. And like some of the weapons in Elden Ring, I think, because I can only talk about Elden Ring because this is my first Souls game, but like some of the weapons in Elden Ring, some are not as strong, you know? Yeah. I'll fight monsters like this. That reminds me of Power World. I've been playing Power World behind the scenes while playing Monster Hunter World. Trying to level up punching things with my
そうです
fist.
ね。まあ防眼系がなんかいろいろチャージできる特殊弾を打つためにこうチャージするとかっていうのが結構まあ絵的にちゃんとそういうのも処理したい
Oh
よね
my
っていう
god,
のがあっ
Brock.
て、
What's
ま
with
あ
everyone in
こう
Broccoli's?
パーツを
Do
そう
I
つけ
look like
て
I like
なんかそれ
Broccoli's
を
chat?
表現していこうとかっていうのは今回結構作り
Everyone keeps
意味ではいろ
reacting
い
to
ろ
Broccoli's
手を入れた
on
か
my
な。
Discord
ああいう
announcements.
ギ
Like,
ミックを
what the
入れ
heck?
てちゃんと
They
アクション
trying to
にちゃん
feed me
と説得
broccoli.
力を
Why
持
is
たせよ
everyone
うと
feeding
か
me、
まあ、今
broccoli?
何を自分がしているのかっていうのをはっきり分かりやすくし
Oh
よう
my
みたい
god.
なのはだいぶ手を入れた
Never.
一つではあ
I'll
りま
never
す
eat
ね。
it. You'll
まあ
never
全武器
you'll
に
never
共通で
catch
すけ
me
ども
alive.
セクレットに乗ってる状態でも使えるアクションが一番あったりだと
Taking
か、そ
combo
の
on the beast. Dang.
武器のアクションだけではないですけど、セクレット
So
が降り
many
る時の
techniques
武器を使いながらアク
in
シ
the
ョン
new
が
one.
あっ
I
たり
think
だ
the
とか、
next one's gonna be
いろ
even
んな
better in
コードのつ
Wilds.
なぎ目ですね。
It's
それ
gonna
は
be a
ワー
big
ルドもそう
monster
ですけ
hunter
ど、
game.
ものすごくこういろんな線今
Like
まで
their
繋がらなか
best
った線、
game
この
yet,
方
I
向へは
think.
繋がらなかったけど、この方向でも、武器しまいながら動けるようにしようみたいなところとかは、技術的にもそういう保管しながら作るやり方に。
Though that's just my opinion. Monster Hunter World and Rise is only my first Monster Hunter games, so I can't really say much about the older ones. But I think from what I've experienced so far, I think Wilds might be better than Worlds, probably.
変えていってるところ。
そうですね。まあ、
I'm
今
just
回
emotional.
初めて入れたのは初期デザイン、初期武器を
Oh yeah, who reacted to a
14
wedding
全
ring
部
on
デザ
my
インしたっていう
Discord
のは
announcement?
多分今回が初
Why are
め
you
てじゃない
proposing
か
to
な
me, chat?
初期武器って
Whoa.
本当にプリミティブなこうシンプルな武器を持ってるっていう
Who's
の
that
が
character?
今までの通例で、でも今回でこうそれの選ばれたハンターっていう
Yeah, like a
立場
lot
で
of
もあっ
people really
て、
like
なんかそ
her.
のシンプルな武器持ってんのも
Look at that
なんか
weapon. See, doesn't
ちょっ
it
と
feel
違和
like
感
it's
ある
really
し、
heavy?
結構選ばれた人っていう人たちの中の表現になってくるので、まあちゃ
Showing
ん
that
と
you're
その
someone would
成
be
形された、
creation
今
of
回用
properly
にデザイン
designed
された武器って
weapon.
いうのが
They're gonna
作れ
make
た
it
らいいん
feel
じゃない
more
かなって
real,
いうの
is
で、
what they're
そういう意味
trying
で
to
は初期
say.
武器
I
を
think
デザイ
they're
ンした
gonna
のが
make the
今回初め
weapons
て
feel more
かな。
real when you
設
play
定
it.
からちょっとそういうのも
So that's
しっかりした方がいいよね
interesting
って
to
いうの
see.
はありましたね。
今回のその初期装備まあ、ホープシリーズ防具もそうですけど、かっこいいですね。最後までちょっと使っていっても違和感がないぐらいのデザインになってるから。
はい、結構体験の
Yeah, this game is really good
集
with
中
roping and stuff.
弱点が最初に作られた時は結構
Yeah,
な
I
んか
think
性能っていう
Captain,
よ
I
りも
think
気
you
持
will like
ち
this
い
game.
いなっていうか、ああいう感じの攻撃って今までなかったので、ああいう表現もできるようになったんだっていうのは結構なんかいろんなこう攻撃の
Whoa.
アイデアを出す上ではすごくなんかいい
Dragons in
アクシ
Monster
ョンの一つ
Hunter
だなとは思ってま
is
したね。
no
なので
joke. It's
こういう
harder than Elden
こ
Ring
ういう気持ちよ
dragons.
さが出せる
From
の
my
か他の武器でも
experience,
もっ
it's
といろいろ
harder
でき
than
そうだ
Elden
な
Ring
とか
dragons.
なんかそういう
So
の
if
は
you
す
can
ごく
beat
だから
dragons
体
in
験か
this
ら大体
game,
作るんで、
then
で体
Elden
験
Ring
作った
dragons
時
would be
に
so
体験って
easy.
かなりこうオールマイティーな性能で作られていくので、でその中で一番その今回売りである集中弱点どうしようっていうので結構ああいう表現が入ってくると、あ、じゃあ他の武器はもっと面白いことできそうだなとかっていうのはありましたね。
Like when we were fighting Pellucidax the dragon and we were able to beat it first time, I learned how to fight it from Monster Hunter because you gotta be in his blind spot, you gotta dodge right, and it was using like red thunder, and I was like, wait a minute, that looks familiar, like that's like blight in Monster Hunter World. I'm like, wait, so I know like to avoid it and stuff. Like I was able to fight it because of this game. I've been practicing. Elden Ring is a whole other ballgame. You think Elden Ring is harder? Traps are goated? Or is it Reckless cause... Yeah, there's even like Elder Dragons. Elder Dragons are like top notch. Hardest dragon ever. Now imagine if they're tempered. Tempered Elder Dragons. Yeah. I don't know. If from my experience, I think Monster Hunter dragons are more difficult than Elden Ring dragons for me. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
ね、まあ、ちょっと重いテンポ感
I
の
want
武
that
器って
poster.
他のアクションゲームにあんまりなかったりするので、だからこそこうモンハンの基準スタンダードとしてはまず体験をしっかり面白くしていくということで、
Great
そこから
Sword is
先
the
他の武器種
standard
というのは体
weapon.
験を軸にしながら、じゃあどう差別化できるかっていう意味合いで今の、武器種のコンセプトになっているところもありますので、
そうですね。なんか体験の重みで面白く遊べるゲームにしとけば、あれより速いテンポ感の武器
Create
が作りや
weapons
す
with
いん
quicker
ですけど、
tempo.
速いテンポ感の武器が中心になっちゃうと遅い武器ってなかなか作っていくの難しくて、モンスター側がそこに合わせていっちゃうとどんどんこう高速化していっちゃうので、あくまでも体験っていうああいうテンポ感
So they're comparing fast and slow weapons here. And like I said, I like that they have variety compared to a lot of other games. But they have a lot of variety of weapons. They have fast ones and slow ones, and you can actually compare the difference when you're playing and using those weapons. Like you can actually feel like the heavier weapons are slower, and I think that's really cool. Like you can actually feel that and compare. So I like that.
まあ武器種でしっかりお互いを調整し
Technically
て、その
Wyverns,
中で
yeah.
速い武器ってじゃあどこを
Rathian
メ
or
リットにしていくか
Wyverns.
みたいなので
I will
設計していっているのが結果的にはモンスターハンターらしいその手応えと
2
いう
weeks to
か
beat
アクションのテ
Malenia.
ンポ感になってるのかなとは思います
Man,
ね。
I wanna play Elden
モン
Ring
スターハンタ
again.
ーとして
I
の
love
な
that
ん
game
か
so much.
大事な部分が結構体験には入ってる気がしますね。この重さをなんか大事に作っていこうみたいな
That feeling of
結構
weight, see?
感じてもらえるデザインになってるんじゃないかなと思いますね。
Having variety and being able to customize your character and your build.
特定のスキル
I love
の能力がついた
customization.
装飾品があって、それをこう、武器だったり、防具のスロットに入れることでそのスキルが発動できるっていう形にはなるん
Like
ですが、
any game with
そ
customization,
のス
chef's
キル
kiss.
の
Chef's
一
kiss.
種類の、スキル、複合スキルじゃなくて一種類のスキルであれば、いわゆる錬金的なもので、作ることができます。ですので、このスキル絶対手に入らへんみたいなことは、今回ない。でも最大効率を目指そうとすると複合したスキルの方を、目指していった方がより別のスロットを使える形になりますので、なので、
Wait, in
ワ
Monster
ール
Hunter?
ドの時にあった
You
え
fought a
強壁樹
dragon
全
that
然
does
出
a
ない
walk into a volcano
もう
in
まさに
Monster Hunter.
被害僕はランサーも使わなきゃいっぱい持ってたんですけど
もう全然出なかった最後まで出なかった
っていう声もお聞きしてますので、そうした対応は入れています。はい。
はい。エンドコンテンツに向かっていくとこうある程度モンスターがこう絞られていくじゃないですか。一個あるかなと思うのはその対応力がその
If
ある
it's
武器の
better
方がやっ
to
ぱ
deal
どう
with
しても
those
こう
monsters.
上がりやすいんだろうなとは思ってい
Usage of
て
a certain weapon is better
この
dealing
モン
with
スターにはめ
certain
っちゃ
monsters.
そのいけるけどこのモンスター結構苦手っていうやつはどうしても使用率
See what he said here? What did he say again? He said, like, if there are cases where a weapon is, like, one type of weapon is better against one specific monster, then people will not use the other weapons, and that's not good, you know? And so he said here, I think weapon types will tend to be useless if they're great against one monster but have trouble with another. And I like that in this game you're able to build any weapon, like, depending on your build, and upgrade. Like, doesn't matter what weapon you use, any weapon can be effective against any monster. And I really like that.
自体はどうしてもこう下がりがちになるのかなと思ってて、まあでもうちはそういう人でもこだわっても全然クリアできますよっていうそのでもちょっとやっぱ頑張ってもらわないとどうしてもこうお互いのモンスターと武器の個性を失う結果になっちゃうので、そこは失いたくないんです。でもいろんなことを試行錯誤してもらえば絶対クリアできますよっていうスタイルにはしているので、どうしてもそういう時は時間効率とか触りやすさとか、まあ、クリアしやすさみたいなもので多少はオールマイティな武器の方にぐーっと票が寄っちゃうのかなっていうのは思いますけど、まあそれもモンハンかな
I think every game should be like that,
ふうにも思ってます。
Doesn't matter what
2種類武
weapon
器が
you
持て
use.
るんで、ちょっと尖ってる武器でも2種類持つことでちょっと対応力を補完し合いながら遊ぶみたいなこともまあやってくれたら、
はい、
まあ一つ嬉しいかなと思いますよね。
そうですね。
Cool. This weapon looks so pretty, but I'm not sure if I want it though. But we'll see. Just a few more to go. Like 3 minutes.
Oh, is this it?
Wait, what is this? What is this? The 5th trailer. Let's go watch it. I think we watched the first one. This is the 5th one or something. I want to practice talking more with you guys.
Oh, is this it?
Welcome, travelers.
This is a
I
routine
present
with
you
chatting.
Azuz, the Everforge.
Whoa, what is that? New place?
They're starting without us. Just look at that firebrand go.
I love the messy hair. That girl character, she looks amazing. It doesn't matter if it's short hair or long hair. I like the messy hair type. I think people call it the bedroom hair. I don't know. I just really like it messy. I have a little bit of a wild side. Whoa. The balloon monster. Looks like a balloon. Rocket powered Elder Dragon. Oh, wait, no way. You serious? A rocket powered Elder Dragons in this game? I got the real gems that become pro with 7 weapons. 7 weapons? Dang. Respect. That must be hard to do. That's a dang respect.
We beckon the fire spring with our own hands.
G and Rise, I see. What is that?
No! We never wanted this to happen!
No stopping it now. Not once it starts flowing.
Whoa. Oh my god, what is this? Ew, what is that monster?
Why? This wasn't supposed to happen.
Ew, who is that? What is that monster? Are those eyeballs? What is that? We're doomed. They're cooked. The black flame. Is that like the end boss or something? That's the end boss, isn't it? I got sorry, it's me. I got hungry, but February 28th. That's like 8 days after my birthday, which we don't talk about because I don't. I want to grow older. We don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
いうことで、そこから先他の武器種っていうのは
It
体験を
was
軸にしなが
I
ら
really watched this
じゃあどう差別化できるかっていう意
new
味合いで今の
gameplay was
武器種のコンセプト
this
に
is
なっている
new.
ところもありますので
You see? You hear?
こ
Core weapon that is the great sword!
Ah, smug mode.
Hello, my fellow hunters, and welcome, one and all, to lots of Wildsy goodness. Yes, there's been some delicious tidbits
We're
revealed
watching
around
someone
the place,
react
a
to
lot of which
a
in
reaction
IGN's
video.
Wild's first month interviews,
We're reacting
and
to
we
someone
need to talk about
reacting.
it, such as, you know, how decorations are going to actually work in Wilds now. That's a fairly
Dang,
big deal,
that is so
but
cool,
also
I
a
love
lot of
it.
fascinating insight into things like choosing
Hi,
returning
bud.
monsters, and indeed
My
some
gray hairs,
hard
oh God,
confirmations
please
like the
don't.
fact that Basarios won't be in, well, Wilds.
Yeah, we don't talk about my birthday. We don't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most tragic news as fun as he is, but, you know, it's still okay. It's nice to get a, you know, opposite
that
of
monster?
a
I'm so-
confirmation.
I'm
That's
so
one off the
curious.
list of possible speculation targets. In
Well-
any case, we also have some actual kind of newsy stuff in the sense that we're about to get some new monster gameplay, specifically
New
on the
monsters.
returning
Whoa.
Gypsaros. That'll be happening at the Taipei Game Show and will be, well, at the times that you can see on screen, so that's going to
Feature
be
an
a lot
open
of
beta
fun.
test
Of course,
too.
you can hold off and experience him yourself in the beta along with the second
Is
mystery
it Dragon of the
monster,
Rocky
but
Body? Whoa,
if you can't
Gradius.
wait, well, there you go. So, where to actually begin then? Well, I think with the weapons and the decoration system. The TLDR here is it's going to feel a lot like World and Iceborne, with
A lot like
random
World
powerful
and Ice.
decorations that you can find from various hunts. In fact,
Ooh.
we did see that happen, a gem as a reward from a hunt in the various
Wait,
gameplay we
wait,
have
wait,
seen
this
so
can't do
far.
anything
But they
to
said that
damage, I
specifically
see.
just hunting a monster out in the field randomly as opposed to like getting a quest, at least that's my interpretation, is going to give you a chance at getting random decoration rewards, which is rather interesting. However, we are not entering a world of I've been playing for 300 days and have not seen a single attack decoration. They even specified that the devs themselves went
You
the
played
entirety of
300
World
days without using a single
getting an iron
decoration,
wall
what?
jewel. So
What?
now in Wilds,
Dang, built
every
different?
single skill decoration is
How
going
did you
to
beat
be
the game? Did you beat
attainable.
the game?
They said through
Did he beat the
alchemy,
game?
but I assume that also means like
There's
crafting,
alchemy
'cause
in this
otherwise
game.
alchemy, if it's
Magic.
melding, would also be RNG. So you can get every skill's decoration for
said
certain.
there's alchemy.
However, that's only single skill decorations. If you want the more powerful, more efficient, multi-skill, more potent decorations, they're going to be the RNG chase item, which is really, really lovely, especially for build crafting, because you can always assume a baseline access to various skills to fill various
Bam.
decoration slots.
Bam,
Having a
bam,
fully
bam.
available weak set of decorations, but it covers every skill in the game, with more
Anti-theft
potent
duels
versions
since
to
they
free up
brought
more
back
space for more
opossum
skills
bird.
as the kind
Yeah,
of
I think
grindy
they have
chase.
magic in the
That
next
seems
one,
really,
Boba.
really solid, and
I
it's
think
nice to
so.
see that they really
He said
have,
there's
you know, taken on
alchemy
board
here.
the frustrations that come with
I was like,
incredibly
wait,
rare
really?
RNG decoration skills that some people just never see. So while, of course, I'm keen to find out, you know, literally the specifics in game from this overarching system,
Sour
it sounds like a
spots.
really
We'll have more
solid way
wild
to do
spots
things.
where he
Another
from
just
his
straight up,
attacks.
hey, look at this, a new
Yeah,
thing in
I learned
Wales
how to
is the
play
Ray Dow
Elden
hunting
Ring through
horn that we
Monster
see in a
Hunter.
few of the clips,
I learned,
which
like,
looks really, really
enemies
cool.
have
I love
weak
the sort of
spots and
thunder
stuff,
drum
or
aesthetic,
blind
the
spots, and you
scales
can
up the
attack and
middle, we see
survive
it's got the lightning element,
better,
of course,
you know?
and it's a really nice designed
Learned
weapon.
a lot from
It's our
this game
first
for
little
sure.
hint at Ray Dow kind of anything, actually, and it makes me really excited to see what his kind of golden lightning greatsword's going to be, even though, of course,
Like,
we
even
won't be
in
using
Elden
it because
Ring,
it'll be thunder element.
like,
In any case,
some of the
that's
bosses
a
are
fun
weak to
little
holy, some are weak to
spot.
fire,
As I
some are
said,
weak to
they
water.
hard deconfirmed Basarios, so that's not something we need to worry about, which kind of takes us into more of the sort of looser philosophy stuff that is still really fascinating.
I also think like we did that Pokemon marathon a while back. I think it really helped because I learned like how to do strategy, and like water is strong against fire, elements versus elements, and I learned like you need like specific items to win or something, or potions and stuff. Like after playing Pokemon, then we went to Monster Hunter, I think. Then we went to Elden Ring, and I think Monster Hunter Worlds and Pokemon also played a role in helping me play my first Souls game, which is pretty cool to think about. Like even in Elden Ring or Monster Hunter, like some of the monsters are weak against specific elements, or bosses are weak against like probably holy or fire or water. Like I think that's pretty cool to think about. You know, you're not just playing the game, you're understanding the game and its mechanic, and you learn to appreciate the game more. You know, like a true gamer, I would say.
To get an insight into how they're approaching
Melding.
Wilds and its
Oh
design.
really? Wait,
On
Melding's
the
the
weapon
alchemy,
front,
right?
they do, to go back to Hunting Horn, specify it really has changed a lot, and we have seen that, and it's quite the departure from its previous versions, which I think is really, really good. We also had mentioned how they had to solve on your ranged weapons not needing to constantly resupply with ammo and coatings, because now you can just constantly hunt without the loading, without the back and forth. You need to be able to do that without just being really weak. So making basic stuff stronger, managing gorges instead, became the theme of the weapon. And indeed, across the weapons, their goal is to always mold them to always be their heart and soul of the weapon, but then actually apply them to the unique stuff in the game, which of course makes sense. And there's a lot of new technology and animation work that lets actions get a lot more complex and smoothly chain from one another, and just harkening back to the you had to stand still and full complete an animation to heal, to now the much more smoother on the go stuff that we've been used to. They also say this is the team's first time at designing an opening set of weapons, the Hope weapons, for a game. It didn't make sense to start with the usual like basic bone or iron, because we're a chosen hunter for the narrative, so they made the Hope series, and along with the armor, they really like it. And yes, we have seen stuff like that in other Monster Hunter games, but not this specific team doing it. Hell, they said they could see it being used to the very end of the game, just upgraded, so that's really nice. But then we get to sort of the deeper philosophy, where the Greatsword, the core weapon of the game, guys, just saying, I've been telling you this entire time, even the devs knew it's the best weapon, if that's how we choose to interpret that, okay, that's how I'm choosing to interpret that. And it really is interesting, though. The first thing they designed was the Greatsword's Wound Popper focus attack. And they wanted it to be cool more than anything else, even at the cost of performance, and it became the baseline for, okay, if we actually have managed to pull this off, we've got this lovely, stab it in, rip along, tear the monster, we can now expand into other weapons, confident we can make something that cool. Which then leads to the fact that Greatsword is like their canary in the mine. It is the standard of Monster Hunter combat to them, and every other weapon is designed with Greatsword in mind. The easy example of that is Greatsword is the base pace of the game. It's a slow, heavy weapon, and they say if they can make the game feel fun on Greatsword, then when they up the tempo with something like Dual Blades or the faster weapons, that's going to be fun too. Whereas if they design the game around something as fast as Dual Blades, then get to the Greatsword, it's going to suck because the monsters are designed to Dual Blade speed, and then their Greatsword is going to really suffer. So Greatsword is kind of like the core tempo of everything that the other weapons play around and have different strengths and weaknesses, which honestly makes a lot of sense, and you can kind of you feel that when you are playing the Greatsword. And honestly, it might explain a long way to why I've always had such an affinity for it, because it really does feel like Monster Hunter. So ultimately, if the current Monster Hunter...
He said the weapons make it feel like actual hunting monsters. Like, you get to feel how heavy the weapon is or how fast it is and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. It's like real life, I think they try to make this game feel like real life. Like, you're actually hunting and tracking down monsters. Pretty fun.
The game they're working on feels fun on the Greatsword. That gives me the confidence that it'll feel fun on all the other 13 weapons. And I think that is really, really interesting. And they say that a lot of the important elements of Monster Hunter can be found within the heart of Greatsword and how it interacts with the systems in the game. And again, I really do, outside of my own bias, I really do think you can see that, and it really does make sense.
Sword and shield,
and they are a little bit concerned, or at least touch on the fact that once you get to endgame, you hunt a much smaller section of the roster, because they're the ones that matter for what you're farming, and if some weapons are better against them than others, it will kind of skew popularity, but they would rather weapons be unique and fun than just kind of homogeneously equally powerful.
Now all the weapons are equally powerful.
They want this lovely variety, and with the two-weapon system, that's kind of that mitigates that itself. I'm, of course, giving you, like, the cliff
Except
notes here,
Rise.
and there is a lot of
Yep,
fascinating
yep,
stuff
yep,
if you are
yep,
interested in
yep.
reading it all in depth. Then we get to go on to how they choose returning
attack the
monsters.
toes. Get 'em.
We saw, of course, Basarios recently, and they wanted him to be a much
Uh-oh.
later game threat, a big, tanky test of
Got
a
this.
hunter's skill,
Get 'em.
and they
Get
made
his
him even
toes.
harder to crack than usual, knowing that focus mode lets you more accurately aim at his
What
soft
the
hits,
heck?
which is actually a really
fire gets out of
clever
his
use of
tummy?
it, and it can dictate monster balance in that way. Not in the sense of big, zone-wide attacks and hyperspeed monsters,
Oh,
but in
he's
terms of
trapped.
precision
He's
difficulty.
paralyzed.
And I think that's really,
Cool.
really cool, and I wonder how that
He's
applies to
trapped
even
in this
higher tier
game.
stuff than Gravios. But I think the two most interesting bits of info, we touched on one before, them really stressing how much they know Lagiacrus is loved,
Dude,
how much Tokuda-san himself loves Lagiacrus, he helped design it, and that he really specified
Watch
they
out
have
for that.
heard how much we want him to come back, and he assures us no one wants him back as much as him.
Reminds me of that dragon from
So
Elden Ring
it
DLC.
really feels
With, like,
like
the black smoke coming out of
feels
his
like the
body.
vibe of, guys, if there is any way we can justify it, and it's hard
Kinda-
because
kinda
there's no underwater
similar.
combat, which they talked about, we will do it. If we can make it work and feel natural within our ethos of how we choose monsters, which we'll go on to, we will do it. So I am really kinda... I'm more hopeful
Yeah, you gotta
than
be a
before I
little
found any
aggressive with
information
these
out,
bosses.
essentially. And I think that's really, really good. I honestly... I'm feeling the geocracy, but that also sounds a bit tinfoil hatty, so take it with a
Break the
grain of
tail.
salt. Rathalos, however, is a
Ooh.
bigger deal than we
Give a
realized.
shout to
They said
Luna.
that in
Thank
Worlds,
you so
obviously, a
much,
lot of
so
people hadn't been
cute.
exposed to
How
Monster
are
Hunter.
you?
Worlds
Have
was a
you
smash
been?
hit, and now a lot
Hope
of people
you're having
have.
a good day.
But back
I've
in
been
Base
lurking
World, they
in
wanted
your
Rathalos
streams,
to
by
just
the
be
way.
this instant,
Like this whole week,
iconic
I've been lurking
apex
in
of
your
the
streams
ancient
as
forest,
well.
woven into the ecosystem.
Watching you play
Everybody
Monster
can get
Hunter,
used to him as
you were
the
doing that
flagship of the series,
pamphlet, the
and now
booklet
they have.
on Monster
So they don't
Hunter.
want Rathalos, they say, to be
I
just
thought that was so
in
cool.
Wilds as a part of it.
Yeah,
same
I
as
was like
always,
lurking
okay, it's
and doing
Rathalos.
homework
They
while I
want
was
to
like
see if they
lurking
can
in
do
my
him in a
friend's
way
streams.
that is actually fresh or
I was also
interesting.
lurking in your
And when asked
stream.
like specifics on that, there's more just kind of like awkward, like, oh, what do we
Yeah,
say?
the
This is
book you
difficult.
showed
They specifically
everyone,
say this is
the Monster
awkward to
Hunter
answer.
Wild book.
And
was
they
cool. Right,
essentially
cool
leave it with,
pictures.
look, we want Rathalos to be different, how he's presented, how he comes across when you meet him.
Yeah, I was
and
doing
we just
homework and
hope that
lurking
you
in
like what
people's
we've done
streams.
with big smiles on their faces. So that's curious, isn't it? They want to do something more interesting with Rathalos, basically can't say anything, and to me have the vibe of, oh, we've done something
They're
big, but
doing
we
some
can't say, we hope
reaction
you
to
like
wild
it.
videos.
What is going on there?
I don't know
am
what's I'm so excited. What is
fascinated.
going on?
I feel like either the story beat of Rathalos' introduction
What is that?
into Wild is going to be
Why
ridiculous,
does Wild look
like
so
he's going to be
epic?
used
What
in
is
a
this- what
really
is this
important
cutscene?
moment to reveal something crazy, or they have taken Rathalos and done something to
Oh
him
my
that is
God.
crazy. Either way, I'm in. That's a really exciting
Explosion.
thing to do for the monster that, yes, we know needs to
Thank
be
you,
there.
Luna.
Rathalos
It's good to
means
see
Monster
you.
Hunter, but that we might be getting
Hi,
a little bit like,
Shadow.
yep, okay, it's Rathalos. So that's really, really exciting. And they said they always want returning monsters to feel, of course, fresh. They choose ones that they know they can give a really
see a
good
lot
look
of-
of
I
paint
see a
to
lot
and
of
make it
girls use
really
that weapon.
worthwhile.
A lot of
And there's
Monster
a lot of
Hunter
things that go
girls,
into that
like
choice.
streamers
It's
that
not
I've
just
seen.
popularity. Look at all of the
They're using
monster
that long
roster as a sort
weapon
of catalogue.
that
And
makes
then
you
they
jump
pick
into the
which one
air.
would shine
What is that
best
weapon?
in the situation they've created.
Makes
the
me wanna get it
situation
too.
being
What is that
mechanically,
weapon?
the environment, the ecology of what they've set up in this given Monster Hunter game. And I think that's a really
Intel
lovely way to
feedback,
do
what
it.
happened?
What matters most is, yes, being able to
Insect
give it this
flavor?
fresh
Isn't that
look
like
for
the
returning
glaive or
players,
something?
but also that
What's
it makes
glaive?
sense as a returning
Insect-
monster in
insect
the
glaive,
context
right?
of when you
I
fight
knew
it,
it.
why you find it,
I have
what
no
you're
idea
trying
what
to
that is.
achieve with its
I see a lot
gameplay
of
and mechanical
Monster Hunter
teaching
girl
and the
streamers use it.
location it's going to be based in. Kongolala is a good example. They said it's the first returning monster that you will see. And yeah, that makes sense. It's an early game, low tier threat.
Is that a
but it
monkey?
fits perfectly into the Scarlet
It's like a
Forest.
hippo
But also
monkey.
it's a quirky, funny, silly
I have
monster
a
with what it
monkey.
does. And that blends into the
So
Woodwoods,
funny
which supposedly
looking.
are kind of quirky too. And
It was
we
your
see
first
in the
too,
little intro
Isaac?
snippet of its cutscene.
I've never
the
used
Woodwoods
it, that makes me
messing
wanna
with
use it. You can
and,
jump
you
really
kind of get
high.
that natural, playful interaction on top of it being, a forest, so perfect for Kongolala to exist in.
Wait, so
and
many
thus we have
friends games
this
are
lovely
here. What the
selection
heck?
of, yes, it's a monster people will
We should
appreciate, and
imagine
they said they were
all of
blown
us
away by how
playing
hype everyone
Monster Hunter
was to see
Wilds together.
Kongolala. They said it must have been
Wouldn't
Kongolala's
that be
best
so
day
fun?
ever, which I just love. The
I
devs
would
are
love
all
to play with you
wonderful. Like,
guys
the
if you
passion
guys
they
want
talk about
to, like
Monster
either
Hunter,
on stream or
it's
off
so
stream. I
lovely
don't
to
mind.
hear, and
It'll
thus
be
he
fun
was
to play
there.
together.
Yankutku has always been a pack flock monster, but they've never been able to really do that until Wilds, so now that that's a
Hi,
technology,
hi,
packs
good
of
morning.
monsters finally bringing back Yankutku makes
Cool.
natural sense. But Yankutku in earlier
This is
games used to be
environment.
like your first
What
proper
is that
wyvern. In
attack?
Monster Hunter
What
1,
the
it
heck?
was your first wyvern you fought and was quite a good teaching
Oh,
monster. It became known as the Sensei. But in the context of Wilds, that
Wait,
doesn't
that's
make
like
as much
Vitalis.
sense because they don't want it to be hard
The
enough
way
to
it's, like,
be a
spitting
Sensei.
out the fire,
So instead, they're
similar
going to do
to
something different
Vitalis.
with it. Make it actually get involved at an interesting moment, not in the way you expect. And that's really, really fun too. And again, plays into what we've seen of him. In fact, Takura-san has his own reptiles. He loves them, he looks after
which
them.
one?
And I mean, I feel obviously kinship there. I have plenty of reptiles, snakes,
day's
and
been
lizards,
going well,
and
thank you,
adore
Shadow.
them, setting up the Bavarians and their
What
homes.
about
And he
you?
actually brought in one of his shedded skin of his lizard to help the artist come up with Yankutku's skin texture. And I think that's just a really little charming way to do things. So yeah, a lot of this is really lovely to know. Some of it quite juicy, some of it just really fun,
Oh, yes,
but
dip it
all of
sword
it
back.
worthwhile if you are a Monster Hunter fan. I hope you've enjoyed this kind of like, you know, blitz summary.
Not
And
gonna lie,
again, the full
massage
interviews
sounds
are
really
out there
good right
and
now.
definitely worth your time. For now
You should
though,
get
let me know what you
massage.
think. Like you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider
This is
supporting the YouTube channel on
Japanese,
Patreon down below.
right?
And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping
Hey.
the humor like a hammer on your toes, bringing entertainment.
How to become a better Monster Hunter? Should we play games now or should we watch this? Maybe we should start playing games now. Okay. Maybe we should start playing games now. Boop. And then